Happy Thursday, everybody. Happy Thursday. Welcome to the Dollar Hour. I am Deonte Burden, aka Mr. Short Dollar himself. We got an awesome show planned for you guys tonight. Tonight we're talking about something that I think knowledge just doesn't just stop at entrepreneurs. It start, you need to go to be used by people in general, and that's learn how to handle failure and learn from it. One of the biggest things I think a lot of entrepreneurs find out early on, things don't go plan the way you had set from the beginning. Like you have this grandiose plan. I want to start this business up. I want to make money. If I buy this, I can sell these, and then I'll be able to make that. And then they find out, things don't necessarily go that way. They don't go that way. They don't go fast as they plan. They don't make the amount of money they plan. People aren't excited about what they want to do the way they envisioned it, and they stop. And so, and it's the same way we have things in our life where we sit there and say, well, listen, I want to go graduate from college, graduate from high school, go to college, get a career, and things just don't go that way, right?
That's true.
And a lot of times people get stuck in the way they are because life didn't unfold the way they want. And it happens so often. It's sure in general we talk about business a lot, but like I said, a lot of things we talk about tonight can be applicable to your personal life as well. So again, we're talking about how to handle failure and learn from it. Again, this is the Dollar Hour. I am Deonte Burden, aka Mr. Short Dollar himself. Today, we're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Twitter. But the main hub is the Mr. Short Dollar YouTube channel, where we have over 1,000 videos. We have an active grants playlist with over 150 different grant opportunities at any given time. We cover topics of entrepreneurship, management, investing, business operations, investing. I said investing twice.
Okay. we big on investing.
A lot of great information.
Right.
But if you have to leave or come back, remember, go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, and you check out the video in its full entirety. Before we get started, I want to say what's up to my awesome producer, DJ Lab.
What's going on, brother? It's Thursday, the best day of the week.
Absolutely.
A day I remember in infamy for dropping my phone in the toilet. Never done it before in my life.
That shit like it working. Also, what's up? Say what's up to Mother Producer Slick 316.
What's going on, Rico?
Hey, I do want to say something, man. We just the date is April the 17th. 2 days at the end of tax season. We just ended a successful 2025 tax season. Yes, sir. Hey, man, 24 years. That was my 24th straight tax season. And he kicked my mother. Ooh.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Because it was so much business.
Yes, sir.
Which is a good thing.
Yes, sir.
We ain't going to complain about it. We're going to be about it.
Well, shit, man. They call them move like it used to.
I know it.
So, bro, I was down yesterday, man. I was hurting.
Really?
I was hurting, man, because my body, it took a lot out of me. We did extremely well. And I want to tell everybody from the bottom of my heart, all our customers, man, thank you so much. I appreciate it. It's extensive.
Oh, okay.
So, you know what I'm saying? So, I appreciate it, man.
I'm going to get it done.
Oh, no. What I say this to say, and I want to give this caveat to people that a lot of times people get in front of you and say, well, you can do this for business, do that with business. And, back in January and February, if you just have any piece of social media, you see all the ads and everything. This tax business, tax business. You see people posting and want to get in the tax business, but they find out very quick that the taxes that you do in January, February, you didn't get the money till probably early March or the second week of March. Right? So it's a long time, month and a half. You got no bread.
Right.
And a lot of folks quit and everything. And it's similar to what we're talking about now. Things don't necessarily come in play the way you want to. Right. You gotta be able to ride the wave and go through certain stuff with doing it, man. And, was I expecting to have the tax season that we had this year? Absolutely not. I think I knew I was gonna do okay. But we did extremely well. And I just want to tell everybody I appreciate it. And far too often people say, well, do this and have this in place, have that in place. sometimes, you know, it's just lucky.
Just lucky.
And,
Yeah.
and what I've learned over the years is when I have the moments of luck, just be ready for a pooch. Because there's been plenty of times when I had those opportunities, I really wasn't ready for it.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And like now, nah. We get it, but
you ready now?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But at what times, you know, just with business, dealing with the YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we had a couple videos here and there, and I just didn't maximize, but I think we did extremely well.
Yeah.
This year with everything. So I do again want to tell everybody thanks from the bottom of my heart. Also, guys, remember the ebook. 5 questions to ask yourself before you start a business is there. Make sure it's on the link for all the social media platforms. Make sure you get that ebook. It's $5 ebook, easy read, a lot of great information. I think it's something that all entrepreneurs should ask themselves before they start a business. Again, 5 questions to ask yourself before you start a business. It's $5 ebook. Make sure you get a hold of that. Very, very encouraging and a lot of great information. And my book should be. Well, I'm gonna stop saying what should be with everything. Tax season was now I can breathe.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So it's gonna get it. So you're gonna get that book done.
Well, the book done, you got to finish the format.
Oh, okay.
You know, so I go what happened to you. I think I told you, but we'll wrap with it after the show.
Yeah, I remember you telling me. Let me ask you a question about tax season, just real quick, because you see, this is your business, and so you see all the stuff on news that the IRS is mass exodus. The IRS is starting to fail. Nobody's at the offices anymore. Everybody's resigning or taking a buyout. Has it slowed down the response for your clients? Like, has it? Because you in the business, so you know what's really going on in real time. And usually, like you say, well, I used to get responses back in the day. Now it's taking a week.
Now processing way faster than it was 5-10 years ago.
Okay.
The only thing what the IRS has done, what I've noticed in the past 2 to 3 years, they've made extreme capital investment to their website. So you really don't have to call them unless you need to do more personal negotiation stuff. But pretty much 90%, I would say 95% of the questions that you may have is on their website. Okay. If you have your own account. Right. From information, you can even do installment agreements in there. But you can get probably better, more advantageous. Well, it's still better. Installment agreement if you talk to a person, but they have with them decreasing the actual amount of people there. I think the people that are leaving are more so people that probably customer service or things that AI and technology has probably replaced. Did that make sense?
I get what you're saying.
But from a processing standpoint, things are much faster. But when you do need to speak to a person, it just ain't changed, right? Okay. But they now, used to, if the lines were full, they just dropped you in the call. Okay. But now they'll just say, hey, we'll keep you in the queue and call you back. When they call back, you may or may not be available then. But 95% of the questions that you can have, most of them are on that IRS website. Okay. Just for the information with that, right? Yeah. Now, just say if it's information for 2024, I'm just to get an example because I thought about this yesterday. Things that you may have done, work history, or just things from 24, it may have not got posted yet. Okay. With that, but I don't think that's because of the workforce. Yeah. Okay. We're doing. I think, like I said again, I think with most companies, AI, technology, innovation, just taking people. Okay. Right. So, a lot of things, like it or don't like it, when we call places, you may get somebody to talk to, but they'll give you 2 or 3 damn options before they offer you to talk to somebody. That's everywhere, right? Right. You know what I'm saying? So if you press this, press that. You can't either just stay on hold, right? They'll direct you to that website real quick. Exactly. So, I haven't really seen that, to be honest. Okay. I mean, we're not crying at the IRS crashes. I mean, it's bad for business, but for everyday working Americans, we don't care. I don't guess we do, but it's just, you hear these stories about like Social Security. You call Social Security, you're going to be on hold for 4 or 5 hours because ain't nobody really responding to any other answering the phone because there's not a lot of people there anymore. The issue, let me cut you off. The issue, I think, with more Social Security, most of the time, now, Social Security 10 years from now might be a little different because you got people more tech savvy. The issue with Social Security now, most of the people that call in regards to Social Security aren't really tech savvy.
Okay, they're old.
So they want to talk to people.
Right.
But I do think in just in the next 10, 15 years, that's going to be kind of relevant because more people are more savvy with, either want to do it on their phone, do it at a computer, or just kind of go with the prompts.
Right.
Whereas, probably people that I would say maybe in this probably 60 people that are 60, this group right now, probably the last of those that probably want to talk to people.
Okay.
Makes sense?
Yeah, I get it.
So, again, it's just more so gravitating to more technology based because it's just like most organizations what's happening.
Okay.
It's like it or don't like it. I mean, I just think that it's just when the new administration came in, they're looking at it like if we got people that are making $430,000 that's just processing this, and somebody been at 20 years making $100,000, and they're doing the same thing. Why are we paying these people?
Okay.
Let's just get more people making 30. You may not like it, but that's really what I'm be honest with you. They just getting a lot of people that are top heavy doing the same job. Somebody, of course you lose experience,
right?
But all things being equal, how much experience is needed with certain tasks, right? You know what I'm saying?
I just wondering, was any of that stuff affecting your business and your response time for your customers? Because you that's your business. Like, was it time before, maybe 2 years ago, when the other administration, you could get somebody on the phone within hours.
Faster. No, the talking on the phone thing ain't gonna. I don't think it'll never change.
Why?
Because you talk about 300 million people in the United States of America, and you only got maybe 30, 40. I'm gonna know how to be the IRS thing like 30,000. Like you'll never have enough people working to handle that, right?
I get what you're saying.
So that's always gonna be the case, right? I'm just saying, like, even though you got 300 million people here, not all of them are working, but it's still nowhere near enough people,
right?
For in relation to the amount of people that are working, right? So that's something with Social Security, right? If you just put in a perspective of there will never be enough people working to handle the amount of people that are work for the IRS or even most federal agencies,
right?
That most people use, right? I.e. Social Security, i.e. IRS, most veterans and stuff.
Veterans, like you a veteran.
Same thing though.
Oh, okay.
Same thing. Them capital investments online, man.
Okay.
Smooth.
All right.
Smooth. Smooth.
I forgot about
smooth.
I forget you was a veteran, but I
smooth, man.
They made cuts at the veterans VA too. And veterans was having to fit, but the older veterans was having to fit.
Yeah, because like I say, man, it's just it's we talked about this shit before.
Yeah.
Technology innovation do one thing: take jobs.
Take jobs. Yeah.
So we want to say we want to raise. We say we want more money. Okay, we'll give you that. But we're gonna fight for y'all. We'll give you more money.
Right.
But we're gonna fight for y'all.
Right.
And we're gonna put more in these machines and technology. They don't need days off. They don't need they can't get sick. They can't get pregnant. They don't need insurance, right? So, and that's just how the world goes, right? Same thing when these jobs they saying to come back with, at the these dealerships, or not dealership, the car plants, right? They again, it's gonna be a robot, doing it. And
right.
You got one technician. So it's just where the world going, right?
Yeah.
We want to have these high-speed phones, do all this kind of stuff. We got to take what come along with it, right?
That's true.
Everything's innovating, man. But before we get too far off the rocker, guys, we're gonna start the night show. We're talking about how to handle failure and learn from it. And successful entrepreneurs.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. We gotta say hey to Mama.
What's up, Mama? What's going on?
Mom. We just been running our mouth. I didn't even look over here. Hey, Mama.
Hey, Mama.
She said, hey, Poochie, laugh and slick.
What's happening, Mama?
And I got a comment already. Let's talk American Radio. Say failure is inevitable. It's inevitable. How can one bounce back in a reasonable time frame? How can you determine I guess it's predetermined or pre-critical. Anyway, time frame.
You don't know? You know what I'm saying? You never know what kind of time frame with you bouncing back. It's just a matter of how resilient you're gonna be.
Right.
I think a lot of times what people miss out on, you got a lot of folks out here today that have potential. to be super successful.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the main determinant, that's what we're going to talk about tonight on the show, it's not about how hard you work. You got a lot of people that work hard, and they really don't get any quote unquote success.
No forward momentum.
Yeah, I mean, or just anything tangible that they can say is success, but they work hard. I think one of the key components of success is how soon you can bounce back from disappointment. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
I didn't make the sale, I didn't get the promotion. You know, the business didn't do as well as I thought it was going to do. And a lot of times people can't get out of bed the next day because things didn't go their way.
Right.
And then some people just, as a good night's sleep, a day or two, whatever, they're back on the saddle.
Right.
And I think that has more to do with success. And I think a lot of times that we're going to talk about and give you tips on how to handle that. Some of that stuff is in you. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I just think that when people have setbacks and do certain things and things don't go their way, everybody don't just, just be stuck. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they hurt the same. They feel bad, they upset, they disappointed, things didn't necessarily go the way they wanted to go. But the recovery time, you get what I'm saying? Like it ain't the same. Some folks quit and never do it again.
Right.
And some folks just sit
bounce
here,
back.
Bounce back. And if and having that kind of attitude is the reason why we have the light bulb. Is the reason why we have electricity. The reason why we have, so many inventions where men and women, people just had to do things over and over and over and over and over again until they got it right. Right. Just that was things that we just take for granted. Those came from people that actually tried over and those systems in place. And we're going to talk about a few of those guys, but those kind of things, like, you see is it a failure. I see it as a teaching moment. And that's what we'll have stuck today, talk about today. Again, tonight show, we're talking about how to handle failure and learn from it. If you want to call in, guys, feel free to leave a comment in the chat. But if you want to call in, the call-in number is 678-740-9894. Again, that's 678-740-9894.
Right.
One thing, guys, see, successful entrepreneurs treat setbacks as data. They iterate, they don't idolize on their first idea, and they can document every stumble so the next version is stronger. So we start looking at it, in theory. We say, why is learning from failure non-negotiable, right? And so we look at one thing, we can go through these guys, just you protect your capital. Easy, quick, cheap experiment that flops, and flops prevent a bigger and slower flop later. When you sit there and say to yourself, like, okay, let me go and put this out there and do it, it didn't work, right? I one big thing that I did this year with the tax season, my goal was to hire more people. So pretty much was set at 78 people working from the virtual aspect.
Okay.
Shit, but I hit mid-February. We were down to 20, at least end of February, we were down to 28 people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
So that 50 people done quit.
Right.
Because again, it wasn't what they thought it was gonna be.
Not immediate money.
Let's call the dollar out. This is Deonte Burden. Hello?
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Hello.
Hey, how you doing? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Let me check. I had you on. I had it on speaker.
It's cool.
Hello.
Hey, who am I speaking with?
This is Miss May West.
What's going on, May West?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Fantastic. What you want to talk about with the show?
Hello.
Yes. Hey, what do you want to talk about with the show? You want to talk about failure?
Did I want to talk about what?
Failure. Tonight's show, we're talking about failure, how to handle failure and learn from it.
Oh, okay. I just enjoyed tuning in with you guys. And Mr. Misfits. I love y'all. Y'all are always be my family, and I appreciate everything y'all doing.
Well, and I greatly appreciate you calling in and tuning in as well, and supporting the Misfits family as well.
Oh, you're welcome. I love y'all. Y'all are like, I'm like one of y'all big fans.
Okay, I appreciate love you too. Now let me ask you a question while I got you on. Okay, so have you had a moment in life where you had a setback or a failure, and you say, "Well, listen, that happened to me, but I learned from it, so it didn't happen again." Have you had a moment like that?
Um, I've had situations where it's been a time where I felt like things didn't go right, but I look at it as I had to sit back and pick the pieces up. You know, I had to sit back and get everything back in order to pick everything back up.
Did you get everything back in order?
Oh yes.
Okay. So that's the thing about it. And that's really what we want people to learn is that anytime just because things don't go your way or things don't work out the way that you wanted to or you envisioned it being, it's not that it's a bad thing. It's what we can do is just know that experience and get different things from that experience, so we don't necessarily do it again, or if we have to avoid the whole situation altogether, just learn from it. And that's one of the key things about failures or setbacks. The perspective has to change from we're looking like it's giving us an education piece instead of just something that bad to happen, right? We don't have to look at it as always something that's it didn't work out. Well, it didn't work out because this happened, and even if it was something you could control or couldn't control, now okay, certain things that can happen, can't happen. A lot of times people enter or have those kind of occurrences happen and they just never recover from it. So I'm glad you was able to put the pieces back together and get on top of it.
Oh yeah. See, I want to say last year I I moved. I left Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
I moved to Alabama.
Okay.
Um, I lost everything on the verge of coming here, and I I had to pick everything back up. You know, sometimes God removes things away from you for you to wake up to realize what you have. You know, so I was thankful. You know what I'm saying, to still be here to even give that testimony to tell that because I lost my car. I was in a really bad car wreck, and God blessed me with something better. You know, I was home by myself. My husband ended up coming home,
Mm.
and now I'm being blessed with a brand new reality TV show.
Okay.
Okay.
You
Congratulations.
know, um, being blessed to work with good people, that's in my corner, and I appreciate them. Um, I'm working with Black Wall Street,
Mm.
Cool.
and I'm just thankful. You're to bring our show back out and everything, so I'm thankful.
Well, super congratulations to you.
That's
We're
right.
glad you was able to bounce back and everything like that. It's a great testimony to be able to share with everybody. So we really do appreciate it. And I appreciate you calling in and thank you so much for supporting the show.
You're welcome always. I love y'all always, and I'm gonna come and get my interview soon. I
Okay.
just been trying to take care of a million things, but I will be coming to you guys, and I hope to see y'all soon.
Okay.
Look forward to it. You take it easy, okay? Thanks for calling in.
You too.
All right, bye-bye.
Thanks for calling in, Tammy Mae West. We appreciate you. She's been a fan of ours for years. She's actually been on the show a couple of times.
Okay.
So she's been done an interview a few times, but yeah, she's been following us and keeping tabs on us. We've been keeping tabs on her. So we appreciate you tuning. She tunes into just about all the shows.
Okay,
So we
appreciate it.
appreciate the support. We appreciate the love, and thank you for calling in today, Miss Mae West. You can get that interview. You got to go to Miss Mix-a-Lot. She'll set it up for you. All right, Pooch.
Oh, cool. Yeah, cool. Thanks for calling the Dollar Hour. And again, we're talking about, how to handle failure and learn from it. Another thing where we start looking at why is it, failure is non-negotiable when we start talking about learning, it builds adaptive expertise. You master learning how to learn an edge competitors can't copy. When you start have certain things come up where, rules changing, natural disasters, when I say those rule changes, it may be vendors closing, maybe different rates for borrowing and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to you have to learn how to pivot and adjust. We talk about that all the time.
Right.
And when you say like, man, they just built I got this restaurant, we just opened up, we got people coming in, and then a month later, another one come right down the street.
Mm-hmm.
And you like, well, they let them folks open up and they did this.
Right.
Damn, man, it's competition.
Or they changed the direction of the road.
Yeah, exactly.
All the traffic used to come right in front of your restaurant, and they decided to divert it around your restaurant to somewhere else.
You got to be able to sit here and say to yourself, like, look, this the hand I'm dealt.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't mean that, it's always going to be, I don't even look at it from a perspective of being fair or unfair. It just is what it is.
Right.
You have to be able to sit there and say to yourself, hey man, how can I adjust?
Mm-hmm.
I would share with everybody that this is a you may think it's odd, but this is a movie series that I recommend anybody that's in entrepreneurship look at.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the Playboy Story. You have the story on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Yeah, but Playboy Story, Amazon Prime, you have the story.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a 5 or 7 part series where it chronicles when he was started off as a writer for Esquire magazine,
mm-hmm.
went through the ranks and, started Playboy. He's the one that created the whole centerfold piece
mm-hmm.
because people weren't doing that.
Right.
When the editing got, that got slow, he opened up the Playboy Club.
Right.
And then the Playboy Club, he pivoted into the cable channel.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just so many things when there were changes that he didn't create
mm-hmm.
came about. And then he got to a point where, like, hey man, I can't do this so much by touch. Let me let my daughter run.
Mm-hmm.
It was just the thing. It was a classic case study of not just failures, but things that you can't control popping up,
mm-hmm.
and how to be able to be innovative and pivot and adjust.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We seen so much. One big part of the news we've seen was the Pinky Cole and the slutty vegan.
Mm-hmm.
Now I want to get into like how she lost it or why she lost it, but I will say this: I think that what people see a lot of times, when you're hot, you're hot,
right,
and when you're not, you're not,
right.
And you can have a business that's doing quite well. Let's
mm-hmm.
take all the other things, all things equal, like management good, all this other kind of stuff is fine. When things change and you're the hot thing, you're that, right? When things slow down and people got another option, they're going to gravitate to that.
Right.
What do you do to maintain?
Right.
There's a reason why when you look at McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, and all these places, everybody got to they have to pivot and adjust.
That's why you see them selling chicken sandwiches and doing all sorts of salads and stuff that you normally wouldn't see. Especially like McDonald's, they was just pretty much burgers and fries from the outset. Yeah. And ever since I grew up, I'm 54 years old, up until maybe the last 15 years or 10 years, they've been just burgers and fries.
Well, and even to that point, even with sometimes adding a little this and that,
mm-hmm.
they still had the same core menu.
Right.
Burger King too.
Right.
Cap D's too.
Right.
All these places, right? And at the end of the day, well, how are they still selling the same shit, but they still open?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
And sometimes I always say, sometimes we just need to look at some of these businesses and just like, what are they doing that mm-hmm. I'm not doing? Right? Mm-hmm. And a lot of it comes down, to be honest with you, is the actual math side of it.
Mm-hmm.
Am I going to leverage myself out and get this? Am I not going to do this?
Mm-hmm.
How much am I going to put in marketing? Is the location right? Can I just concentrate in this area I'm mm-hmm. putting in it? All that kind of, I'll say that nerd stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's what determines a lot of stuff. But I'm just saying to you, like, these, if you stop for a second, they're selling the same thing and been doing it, the core thing. Like I said, they may have a Mac rib, they may got a Mac chicken,
mm-hmm.
they may got a little a wrap and everything, right. But the core stuff, the burgers, the fries, the Big Macs and stuff, they still there.
Yeah.
So what are they doing to keep it in? And that's why I say sometimes we got to be able to sit here and just pivot and adjust to be able to move certain things, because one thing about it, we know that just with life period, things are going to alter. Mm-hmm. Things are going to pop up that we weren't planning for. Mm-hmm. And that's why I want to have, this conversation with everybody in regards to, how to handle, how to learn from failure. How to handle failure and learn from it.
I'm going to give you one other place that we don't really necessarily think about that pivoted, that was failing at one point, but they pivoted, and that's Victoria's Secret. Yeah. Victoria's Secret pivoted a lot because they didn't have plus size, lingerie and stuff at one point. They wasn't selling past size medium, I think. And then they I think they did the math, said, well, you know what I'm saying? We got all these other people that might like to buy some bras and stuff and panties and stuff too. Yeah. And they pivoted to being adding plus size lingerie and stuff because they were at one point failing. Because you only can have so many, you know what I'm saying? So many panties and bras for a medium.
And we got a thick society.
And right.
You know, so you know, you got probably most
automatically.
Yeah. But that's just innovation and change.
Right.
One food chain that and I don't think they've made a total rebound yet, but they're going through the process and it looks positive, and that's Red Lobster, where they were just sitting there going to close all these stores because they giving out all this endless shrimp, and young brother there just had them revamp some stuff, focus on other things and stuff like that, and it looked like they're going on a positive track. I think in the next couple of years, that they will be able to show how they come about it. But a lot of times, when people, you know, certain things don't go their way because it takes a lot to do things in life. You know, start a business, move, get certain things situated, and when stuff don't go your way, and you have all this optimism, it hurts.
It does.
And if your mind ain't built for that,
you will crash.
It happens far too often.
Yeah,
happens far too often. I can't tell you how many people I knew back 21, 22, 23 with these trucking businesses. And man, I can make this, I can make that. And they crashed because they were over leveraged out with buying, you know, vehicles. They weren't good, you know, bidding on loads to cover costs. They didn't have proper finances to actually have, you know, when they, you know, it's not if your truck gonna break down, it's when it breaks down. Right. They were paying for repairs and stuff out of pocket.
Fuel fluctuation.
Yeah, exactly. And they crashed. And now they back working and stuff like that. And like, man, it was you couldn't do this, you couldn't do that. Well, the thing you stop for a second, Lab, and say, why? That's what, you know, we pivot. We talk about that. What we talked about the other week, accountability. Why, if these trucking companies still in business that you back working for, and you couldn't do it?
Right.
Sometimes we gotta sit here and look at, well, maybe it was something I was doing wrong.
Right.
And that's what we start talking about failure and learning from it, right? Because it can't be that bad if you got these major corporations doing it. We can go to what they doing it is, they doing that, and that, but they're able to do it and employ you and other people. You can still do it if just the method that you did. And that's one of the things too, is just when you do that, it strengthens your credibility. Because one thing about it, when investors see that, hey man, that you had these setbacks or these failures, again, we're talking about how to fail you learn from it. When investors see that you had these setbacks or failures and everything like that, it strengthens your credibility because you say, hey, we did have to get rid of a couple of trucks. We had to do these kind of things, but we made these adjustments and we was able to come out of it. Right. It gives you a lot of credibility. But that's the thing about it. You have to be smart enough to be able to do it, because far too often people avoid talking to a person like me that probably can consult you on the front end and tell you to stay away from these certain things. But you know what it is. When you're making money, everybody's smarter.
Everybody, yeah.
Yeah, you can't tell you nothing.
Right.
But then with money, I'm just saying, when people come to me, I can't do that for you. You know what I'm saying? Because now
it's too late.
You're desperate. Like, oh man, I wish I had a cane to you. I wish you would have too, because there ain't shit I can do now. Yeah. I mean, just keeping it real. But what I would tell you, Lab, there's no barrier to entry with dealing with me. So a lot of times people don't necessarily feel like they have to deal with a Deonte.
Especially when they make the money.
Exactly.
Let's Talk American Radio says How America Was Built on the History Channel is a great series as well. Also, the Motown story is a great journey as well. Yeah. Talking about just the business's failure and success. You know,
How America Was Great. That was a good one too. When it was talking about the Vanderbilts and Andrew Carnegie, how those guys, doing it. And it was there's a lot of things I think what people have to look at that. I won't say you born with a lot of that stuff, because I talk to people all the time that want to get in the business. There's a certain amount of risk tolerance that everybody got to have. People got to have to be able to do certain stuff. And I think a lot of people want things, but the BS that come with acquiring, a lot of folks say built the same.
They don't want to deal with that.
And I always say it's not a right or wrong, but you just got You can't have these aspirations, but I don't want to have this kind of input to get it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just how it is. You know,
One of the things that we talk about all the time is this podcasting and success within this podcasting. You know, a podcast started every day, and people see, you know, the big boys and Drink Champs and all those folks being successful at it and $1 million worth of game, and they think, okay, I'm gonna start this today, and tomorrow I'm gonna be right where they at because I got a lot to talk about, I got a lot to say. Well, they don't know that the journey takes patience and it takes years. We've been doing this for how long? 8-9 years already.
Yeah, but one key thing you just said, with a lot of those guys, not all, but a lot of those guys are already celebrities,
right?
So they don't have to go through the grind that a regular person. And if you're being a regular person, to your point, you got to have that discipline, you got to have that, you know, patience, and you got to have that cheese too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Just real talk, because it's gonna go out more than it come in,
mm-hmm.
and it's gonna be like that for a while,
for some years.
You know, and you know, again, you'll find out real quick what you think is interesting, what you think funny, and other people think
right. But just the failure within it, the disappointment we dealt with when you started your channel, when we started this whole journey with all the shows that we've had come and go. Just the journey itself is an up and down journey. There's no success in the beginning. It takes a while. Like with your success in it, it was just that one video you put up that got like 900 million views.
Yeah,
and that was it. And you didn't even know that was the one. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, and to that point, hell, I'm gonna be honest with that. What I'm thinking about, hell, I really wasn't ready at that point, and I had to do maybe add 2 or 3 more bumps after that. I mean, bumps onto my videos that did well, where I was like, okay, this is how I get it. Because one thing to capture it, you got to wave. Now, how do you keep the wave?
How do you keep the wave?
And I wasn't ready for the first wave.
You know what I'm
saying?
I remember that.
Then the second one came, I wasn't really ready for that. When the third one came, okay, cool, now I know I'm ready.
Catch it.
And that's the kind of thing about it. And that goes back to that failure. Like, damn, man, I had it, but I couldn't keep it, right? And just knowing that, you know, with doing it, I don't think I really got a good grasp on it till those grant videos, you know, first started and everything.
Right,
like that.
right.
I remember that, you know, when you talk
and that
about,
wasn't even something you planned. That was just you just thought about and you just posted.
I just look at everybody stuck at
Right.
home trying to get some money. Real talk.
Right,
You
right.
know, people want you to lie sometimes.
Right.
You know,
Like you had a grand plan and I was going to drop this on April 7th. And
I had a million grand plans, and then one of them worked.
right.
You know, again, we're talking about how to handle failure and learn from it. That's tonight's show. Again, we're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Twitter. The main hub is the Mr. Short Dollar YouTube channel, where we have over 1,200 videos on the YouTube channel. Have an active grants playlist with over 150 different grant opportunities. So you have to leave. It just came in. Remember, go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube and check everything out, this video and all the other videos out in their full entirety. Okay.
Camilla Cammy Burden says, "Hey y'all,
What's up, little bit?
what's up, little bit?" When you come in the chat, you gotta say, "Hey y'all, it's Lil Bit," because I don't know your real name. Now I do, but I didn't at first. Oh, what's up, Lil Bit?
What's up, little bit?
I used to call my mom a Little Bit.
Yeah, we're gonna be at my sister's house this weekend, Easter dinner.
Okay.
Yeah. She hosted Easter at her house.
Okay.
I'm super excited, get on my damn nerves. What do you want for this? What do you want for that?
Right.
Like, I ain't cooking shit. I'm appearing.
That's right.
I'm appearing. I ain't cooking.
I'm making an appearance.
Yeah. Hey, that's all that. When I'm cooking, I'm hosting.
Right.
I'm hosting.
They say famous people don't podcast long anyway. That's true.
Well, you seen that with those spurts. And you seen that. I don't know. The T.I. still got an expedition.
I don't know.
So that the Red Table and stuff like that. I think Wallow and did. I think they were more organic. I think they had somebody, but they've been in the game. We're doing that for a minute. The Shannon Sharp is kind of like, I don't know how long that's gonna last. You know, again, he's doing well, but to that point, because at the end of the day, like most of the time, you know, they have the money to have a machine behind them where they can have certain things behind. But it's hard. It's hard, man, and a lot of people pop up with doing this and doing that, and you gotta be realistic when you start talking about the lighting, this, that, and that, and you paying $500-$600 a show, maybe more than that. and they turn around and makes $50.
Right.
Well, we pushing that. That shit get old real quick.
Right.
That shit get old real quick. And so that's where people, and then if you got this $10,000-$20,000 a month you can put into advertising and you can draw people into it, most people don't. And again, so you just have to be able to stay down.
That's
you
true.
Gotta be able to stay down. Again, tonight show we're talking about how to handle failure and learn from it. What I do want to tell you guys is kind of give you some tips in regards to just easy breakdowns on how to go about turning failure and turning failure around and learning from it. And that's turning your failure into a competitive advantage. I'm gonna give you a couple of tips for that. First, you can run a post-mortem and a pre-mortem cycle. What I mean by post-mortem, pre-mortem cycle is after it happened and before the next one, you do maybe the next occurrence. Not necessarily of the failure, but mostly your next occurrence where you might have had some kind of setback, right? Mm-hmm. And that post-mortem, within 24 hours of any miss, list what was in your control and what wasn't. And one behavior you could change. Remember, when after it happened, that post-mortem again, we're talking about you can list what you had in your control, mm-hmm. what wasn't in your control, and one behavior that you could change. Okay, right? Mm-hmm. You might have been in control of what you see. You might have been in control of the lighting or the electrical system that went out. And maybe sometimes you might say what you can change may have been to get a backup generator or something like that, right? You know what I'm saying? I've done speaking engagements. We have different times we might have shows and stuff like that. Different times, internet go out. Let you go out. What's your backup plan contingent? You might not have been ready that first time, but the next go round, I got that stuff in place, right? My old platoon sergeant Jones, I never forget, man. He didn't teach me too much, but one thing he taught me, and it stuck with me for all of my life. We go to the field, and we might have needed 3 tents. We always take 5 to 10. Mm-hmm. Just say 50 poles. We always take 100. Mm-hmm. Best to have and not need. That need and not have. Best to have and not need. That need and not have. Right. Because you might be that young fella, and you might not be lucky. you know what I'm saying? Right. But you might want to have that Magna Ready. Ready? Because it's best to have and not need. Right. That need and not have. Right. And I always remember that, man. Now, shout out to Sergeant Jones. I don't know where he at right now. But I remember vividly one time we was in the Mojave Desert and a damn sandstorm came and all them poles got broke. And even if we would have had like the little overage, normally we would have needed more. But that was just a classic, and they had always stuck.
But y'all had a whole nother set.
Yeah, we had a whole nother set. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's have and I need and need not have. But that's just when we talk about planning. Another thing is when we're talking about turning your own failure to a competitive advantage, adopt a 24-hour rule. Celebrate a mourn for a day, then convert emotion to action items. Celebrate a mourn for a day, 24 hours, and turn the action to action items. So, like I say again, if it did work, party, feel good, back to the next day. We don't sit there and sit on success. If it did not work and it was a horrible thing, feel bad about it. I say 48. I like to go to 48. I got 24, but I like to go 48 hours. 48 hours. Feel bad, get your ass up, and let's go work on it again. Sitting on that too long will hurt you because you'll sit there and dwell on, man, they didn't come, they didn't do this, they didn't do that. Listen, guys, let me tell y'all something. I'm going to make a video about this because, a situation that happened to me last week. And I'll talk about the end of the show. The time you focusing on what other people are doing or what did or didn't happen takes away from the time and energy you need to be focused on what the hell you need to do. Right?
Good point.
What this happened, that happened.
Right.
We know that happened,
we know it
right?
Happened. Right.
Okay. What I need to do to fix it so the shit don't happen no more.
There we go. And I think a lot of that right there is a lot of people don't get. Once it happens, it's hard to get to that point because we dwell on the why.
When negativity is in power. Why? I'm not power, it overpowers you. Right. So when we start sinking and sinking, the shit get heavier. Right. We're like, no, look, I got to get this fixed. Right? You can't be a punk and sit here and want to just sit here and do all this certain things. You got to just fight out of it. Right. And people might not believe in you. People may not see it. People may not bring up, man, you will keep wasting money. You keep doing this. And listen, it may be your friends. It may be your spouse. It may be the people that you love and care about the most. People are entitled to believe in you. Right. People do not have to. Yourself, right? You got to. You got to.
I think that's the hardest part. Sometimes we need that validation. I mean to cut you off. That validation sometimes people need it. They need to feel like, man, I need to feel like somebody sees me, sees what I'm doing, and understands where I'm trying to go.
Only thing you need is you. Because let me tell you something. Now I think more folks are proud of me, happy for me now than when I started.
Yeah.
Because I remember in 02 and 03, you doing them tax, you still doing taxes and all that. When I was going, walking up and down Bankhead and Kmart or even at the malls, putting flyers on folks' windshields and they balling shit up.
Throw it away. Give it away to $400.
In front of me, like balling shit up in front of you.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Just being able to sit here and keep on moving and keep on moving and keep moving. And people looking at like, hey man, you doing this, you doing that. And it was never a positive thing, a supportive thing, right? So I say all that to say, like, no, man, like, no. When I went to grad school, I'm just thinking on top of my head, they're gonna benefit you at your job and all that kind of stuff. Or damn, man, you ain't too old. Just something like people not obligated to buy into your vision. It's great to have support, but at the end of the day, man, look, man, it's you. It's you. And if you got people that's gonna ride with you, cool. They don't mean they don't love you. They don't mean they don't care. But your vision and what you set out for yourself is yours. Right. And you can't, I'm just saying, like, I get what you're saying. That, hey man, it's great to have that support, but you can't bank on it. You can't bank on that. That's just one of them things, man. So remember that I say 48-hour rule, guys. I'm changing that. Listen, rejoice in your success and hop out of your failure. Okay, I'm just telling you, 48 hours. Okay.
Let me ask you a question. Do you wallow in that success for too long either, though? Right?
I just said 48.
Okay.
48
for both.
48.
Okay.
The party or the funeral. Either way. Either way.
48 hours up and out.
No more than that.
Okay.
No more than that, because we got to go on to the next thing, right? You know what I'm saying? That's why I just told you, like, hey, I just did real good taxi. Should we on to the next thing? Right. I just said, I don't know really how. Now, I got ideas because, my hustle, my hustle. Right. But I be saying a lot to you. Well, I thought this and I thought that because I really thought I did the math. If I have these many people working and they do these many round turns and that 40% return, I can make that. I done did all the nerd shit. None of that happened. Right. But they came back. Mofo came back to me, and I made more money that way. Right. I wasn't planning on that, Lamb. Not sitting here, I was like Einstein shit. Well, you can do this. That's what I planned. Right. We're gonna take our income and everything, but I need to figure out. Poochie, what did you do wrong with the people? So I got to go back to that. See, it's easy for me to sit here and trip about what I did well. Okay, cool, that happened. Whatever. The thing that I was trying to do, why it didn't work. So let's go back to the lab and see. So when we hit tax season 26, what can we make? What adjustment we need to make to that? Okay. The next one is you got to create a failure dashboard, track the hypotheses, experiments, outcomes, and lessons, similar to quality insurance logs in engineering. So when we sit there and do it, you listing what didn't happen, what didn't happen, what didn't happen. A lot of times people don't want to do that. Why? Because it's like you're being negative. Right. No, people didn't show up. Like I just said, people quit. People quit. I spent money on some platforms and just thinking of myself right now. I didn't get anything from the Facebook ads. I got most of mine from the YouTube, not the YouTube, the Google ads. So the Facebook, Instagram ads that I was putting out, people did, and I'm gonna tell you something. Even with me saying this, and I'm just giving some free game to everybody. When you're running Facebook and Instagram ads, just listen to me when I'm saying this. You have, where they give you the opportunity for the demographics, the age, the income, likes, dislike. Do not have. It's one thing. The people that need taxes done aren't interested. So whatever business you have, they're not interested in people that need it done aren't interested in taxes, accounting, whatever. When they say interest, that's going to come to people like me. Right. And so what was happening, you need to be excluding accountants, taxpayers, or if you're a baker or if you're a truck driver, you're security, because what happened is the interest is going to go to the people that do it. That competition. And you're wasting money, advertising dollars, and you're actually giving me what intel. Like, damn, man, that's pretty clever. I didn't think about that.
Right.
So I'm seeing everybody's stuff. But again, once I see it, you're charged for it.
You
know what I'm saying?
The farming, truck, car repair.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So if I have a restaurant, I might need to say sports fans or this, that, and that, whatever. Whatever, just kind of think about people that would actually come to my restaurant, right? Or come to my bar or come to my club. But when you put in sport club, whatever, sports bars, it's going to go to other sports bar owners. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So we got to kind of think about that. But I say that to say, we talk about making that failure dashboard, the money that I put, and I was running the ass on there too. I didn't get anything from that. But the Google ads, I did, right? And I'm just saying that for, another industry, another business may get the opposite return, but that's the thing we got to sit here and do. When I did these things right, spending so much time working on this didn't work. The thing I did the least, I made the most money from. Let's maybe look into that. But we're writing it down. We write things down to help us be accountable. We write things down to kind of make sure that we, going on. What's up, Mike? Appreciate you tuning in.
Travia Thomas says, "Hey, Deonte, hey, lad, great topic. Let the people know."
What's going on, Trev? Appreciate you tuning in.
I'm sorry. I ain't mean that. I ain't took no purpose. That's my head, I'm hard. But anyway,
appreciate
what's
you
going
on? But when you write stuff down, like the key thing with writing it down would always gonna make you just because it's in your face. Like, I've done the videos about my goal board, where what I got a goal for the year, the monthly task, and all that kind of stuff. It's in my face. It's in my face.
I do that in my book. I don't do it like you do it, but I took the idea that you presented, and I do it in my book for Mrs. Radio and TV, and I write the goals down. Like, I need to get this done. I got to get this done by this. I got to get this. So I do it. Do I always meet the goals? No. But I know that they're in my face.
Exactly. But when we talk about just that failure dashboard, when we have a certain event or do something, in the Army, we call it the AAR, the After Action Report. So every time we did a mission, right, if we did a mission, we'll sit down and we'll do the After Action Report, or we'll say the After Action Review. Well, we will sit down and just talk about what we did right, what we did wrong, what we changed, this, that, and next. That's why a lot of that stuff ingrained in me. After every mission, you got to do your AAR, right? So when you sit there and make that failure dashboard, I didn't do this, got to do that. But again, people don't want to be accountable. It hurt. It's easy for me to say, black folk don't want to spend no money. People that want to
support you.
People, your family don't support you. Sometimes it might be some shit you did or didn't do.
Right.
The food wasn't good.
Right.
The service was slow.
Right.
And again, and the reason why the food might have been good because your normal cook called in. You had to hire quick staff, right? But we have a reason to say that. That's not an excuse. But we gotta have a legitimate answer so we can make sure we fix the stuff, right? One of the key things we start talking about those Fortune 500 companies, those companies that last, survive the test of time, continuous improvements, right? They take feedback as information and intel as opposed to criticism. They take feedback as information and intel as opposed to criticism. You have to think as skin when you're in business,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now listen. I see videos on social media. I'm at such and such restaurant and the customer service is horrible. At the end of the day, we gotta be honest. Like, sometimes some folks gonna bitch and complain regardless.
Right.
Some folks got these kind of expectations, but they got
this kind of
damn money and all this kind of stuff, right? So at the end of the day, that's part of the business, right? So you gotta have thick skin with it. But legitimately, sometimes we gotta look at it. Like, hey man, look, I probably, again, this person is ignorant how they handle the situation, but I should have done this in a better way, handle that situation, but we have to get there. You can't avoid certain stuff, with certain things. Some people just gonna be over the top, right? They're gonna just be. You can't make them happy. You know what I'm saying? They first time they went out, and they just got to show out because they don't spend that.
Especially in the age of social media.
Yeah, especially in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And so you can't get around that. But a lot of times it's like, hey man, listen, we do need to fix that. Like, man, listen. But these folks complaining, well, bro, they got a point. You know what I'm saying? So we got to sit here and fix that. If we fix it and look, everything's there, is we on top of it, and they want to make comment, but that's just that.
Right.
But you got to make sure that you, like, again,
you addressing the issue.
Exactly. And just don't be so stuck on what they didn't do. Or with certain people. I'm sorry. It'll be so much in my face. Hold on 1 second, lab. Get this done right quick. Accountability is super important when you be a business owner, because so many times people want to deflect and get it off themselves. And again, everybody got ego. Everybody got ways they feel about themselves and stuff like that. But hey, man, look, you it's cool to be the boss and want to chill, but you got to take what come along with it.
That's right. Let me ask you a question. Do you think failure is a path to success if you take the failure properly, if you learn from it, engage with it, try to assess and adapt to what the failure was, not necessarily close the business, or maybe readjust the business? Do you think failure is a path to success? Because a lot of people say they fail more times than they succeed, and when they succeed, it's because they learn from their failures.
It can be, but sometimes the failure can be something. Look, it failed because it just wasn't meant to be, right? It just depends. But what we do know that failure can be an educating point, right? So it doesn't necessarily mean because something happened you can make something work, because it just wasn't supposed to work.
Okay,
you see what I'm saying?
Right.
But you still got information, you got education, you got experience on certain stuff. That makes sense.
I get it,
right? Because see, some restaurants shouldn't be in certain places,
right?
Some businesses shouldn't be created. Depending. That doesn't mean it's not a good business. It may not be a good business for that particular time, that particular place, whatever, right? So, but that taught you that,
right?
And but that's the thing. If you're gonna stay in your feelings, or you just be like, okay, now I've been, educated on that. A lot of time, lab, I'm telling you, people are so stuck on what they feel is a good idea, and feel like a lot of other people want it. Just sometimes it's just not that way, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, like I said, I done it all, man. And you have to sit here and just kind of be honest with yourself about what you're doing. That makes sense, right? Another thing when we start talking about, again, turn your own failure to competitive advantage, is really, guys, it sounds weird, but just but it's very easy to do. Let's just have a language shift. You just swap out "I failed," but their version didn't work right now, and we start looking at to what, like the lad was asking, maybe we can do something different. Maybe we can offer different things. Maybe we move in a different direction. Maybe we can get different people. But your mind creates your movements. So if you believe, you're gonna do. If you going to do it, you're gonna go in that direction. But if you say I can't do it, you're not gonna do it. You know what I'm saying?
I did, yeah.
Your attitude subliminally controls a lot of your movements, right? So if you second guessing yourself while you're doing something, it's tough. That's why you have businesses that do so well, not because of leadership have got people to buy into it, and everybody's on that same accord. That's why you look at a championship team. A championship team may have a whole different kind of personality, but because they may have bought into the concept of what we need to do, or they have this overriding thing of talent.
Right.
But most of the time, people have bought because a lot of times talent means talent. Everything's equal.
Right.
But when people have bought into a process or a system so much, everybody doing what they're supposed to do. And if you do what you're supposed to do, the summation should give us success. That's how a lot of that stuff goes. And your mind is very powerful in regards to what you feel like you can do, right? If I didn't believe in a lot of stuff I did, a lot of what happened. But I believed in shit that didn't work out also. Right. But I'm smart enough, like I say, when I see the ship sinking, there's one captain that ain't going out.
So you gonna jump up, you going out, you gonna jump off the ship.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, look, man, you gotta be smart enough to understand that there are some things probably not necessarily the best. You already laugh when I talk about the studio. That was my wheelhouse. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I know how to make money. I know how to operate businesses, but I knew nothing about music, and I wasn't really interested in it. But I had a partner that was saying he knew the music industry, but he didn't. I love him, but I had money, he had money, and we wasted a lot of damn bread with doing it. But that's the kind of thing about it. Could you be successful having a music studio in the city of Atlanta? Absolutely. Right. Can you be successful having a music studio in the city of Atlanta without no systems, no kind of experience, and I'm talking about for you or the people there.
Right.
Hell no. You know what I'm saying?
You said something I wanted to ask a question about with that last statement. You said you weren't even that interested. Do you think entrepreneurs should assess if they even interested in what the business that they trying to start? It may have been something that may have been sounding great, as it coming off, rolling off the lips and rolling off the tongue, but in all reality, is that something that they're really interested in? Maybe it's failing because you just don't. You really in the grand scheme of things, you don't really care about it, or you're not really interested, and you're only doing it because other people are pushing it upon you.
I think it had less to do with the interest. I think it had more to do with if you got the right things in place. Because at the end of the day, you can buy McDonald's stock, but you ain't really interested in McDonald's. Mm-hmm. But but if you sit there,
but that's a self-generating thing, though. I'm talking about something you have to do.
No. That's what I'm saying. If you're not, what I'm just saying with buying it, that's still stock.
Okay.
I put my money and time into it. Now me starting a business, I'm not interested in doing it. You kind of know that's not going. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's what life, relationship, anything personal. We're doing it, but you don't have to be interested in something you're doing. Because if I see, okay, that's solid and I'm investing in it, okay, cool. I'm not necessarily interested in it or care for it, but because, I see it can make me some money because they have all the other systems in place, that happens. Don't assume that everything that people are investing in, they like it or they're interested in it. Yeah. But if they see, okay, that it's a concrete system or plan in place, they don't mind doing it. They don't mind, doing it because they see the things in place. But you sitting there building a brick and mortar, trying to do it, you're not interested in it. I don't know how far you can get with it if you're not doing. I just don't think. But it's tough to even start a business you're not interested in.
Well, some people will start some stuff because they think they're interested and they think that it's a good idea, and people tell them, "Yeah, that's a great idea. You need to do this, do that," and they're getting hyped about it. But in all reality, when they sit down and think about it, once the business is starting to see that it's failing, they probably wasn't that interested in the first place. It was just something that they was hyped up about. People was pushing upon them. That's what I mean.
Well, let me say something. Like, that's life. Mm-hmm. We do that with relationships. Oh, she fine, she freaking, she funny. And after a while, she's crazy. She's boring, right?
Regular old crackers.
Right. I left this job because I heard it was exciting to make a lot of money. I get into it, man, ain't what I thought it was. Now I'm unhappy. So that's anything with life. If we just go for a certain reason, money, freedom, autonomy, and then we don't look at the other kind of stuff that may play into it, we find out real quick. Let me get some of these questions in here. Stacey Redbone 28 said, "What's some ways to avoid failure business-wise if possible?" Do your research. I mean, sometimes with failure, you're not going to be able to control it. So they just happen. The avoiding it. We have history can teach you a lot. Your own personal experience, the things you've seen, they can teach you a lot and learn from it, right? That doesn't mean it's going to happen to you, but you have this awareness from it. The other thing is like just knowing that some things you can't control, right? But the things you can't control, try to have contingent or plan B's, plan C's in place, just in case. But preparedness and educating yourself is one of the best ways to be able to avoid failures in business wise, right? I see you, photography Atlanta. What's going on, cuz? How you doing? Let me see what Stanley got right here. I'm not sure that you can run a big studio in the city of Atlanta at this time and be successful. I don't see. That's the thing about it. And my cousin's been in the music industry for a long time. He's also done photography as well. So yeah, all ends of the spectrum. Me personally, I can just see folks doing this, doing that, and I'm thinking they can make a lot of money. But I see the guys doing this, that, and that. And ignorance will move you to do certain stuff. But that's the thing about it. A lot of times go on perception instead of reality. And so those kind of things. And like what we're talking about tonight, learning from failure and how to handle failure and learn from it. Some people never learn from failure because, again, we're going back to what we're talking about now, just that accountability. But you shouldn't have been in that.
Right. That wasn't your wheelhouse.
You asked me that question like, hey, man, you weren't even really into it and stuff like that. I got it because I see my partner making all this money with trucks. I ain't want to drive no damn truck. I just seen that they were making money, so I wanted to do it, right? What it is, right? I'll be lying to you Well, no. I had no interest in doing hair.
Okay.
And I had a salon for 17 years.
Right.
But I did want a barber shop. I did
Okay.
want a barber shop. So of course the lad that had the salon were doing that. And I learned a lot. I definitely learned a lot with doing it. But them last couple of years, I really wasn't interested in it. And the performance of it showed with doing it. And I can always educate people because I'm not a stylist or anything like that, or a barber. But I can tell them off the rip if it's going to work or not.
Right.
If they don't want to listen to me or not. Because again, I think my experience, my opinion is much greater for the person that wasn't working in and wasn't doing it. For me to have success, and probably 20 in 17 years, at least 20 salons closed right by me next door that knew a lot more about industry because I knew business. I was able to survive. But you know, I can sit there and look at, you don't need this, you don't need that. I can see and look like certain stuff where I didn't, you know, I learned quickly. I had to get I knew how the person that worked in my shop looked. Right. From the age, the experience level, you know, their temperament. I couldn't put the young lash girl in there. I couldn't put the young esthetician in there. Because like just it would have threw off the chemistry with the other women in there. Depending, you know, where they were and stuff like that. Their clientele was just gonna mix and match. It was a place where older, established women that wanted to make their money, clean, safe, secure. Like I knew how they looked, right? And anytime that my money got tight and I might have threw that in there, man, that would wreck my shop. You feel me? Poochie, you knew better. Okay. Poochie, you knew better. You knew better. You know what I'm saying? So those are kind of things where you live from it, then you get the wrong person in there. You know, a classic, a good example. One girl, she said her husband was on drugs. And she couldn't pay her rent, you know, booth rent and all that stuff, and let her get behind. Now it got to a point where she would pay me this, pay me that. I said, hey, you know, you're just going to have to go. It just ain't going to work. You can't put me out. I already talked to my lawyer. So how if you got a lawyer, how the hell you can't pay my rent? Right. But she had been scheming the whole time. So I had to go through the whole process. She left my shop, left stuff all tore up and everything like that. But I should have known better when it got to, like the lease said, a week behind. Should have did the eviction. Right. And it never happened again. And you know how karma works out. About a couple months later, I was asked by another shop that she went to be, you know, write a statement that what she did in my shop, and you know she got slammed behind it. Right. Just like that, because I wasn't gonna sue nobody. No, ain't had no damn money. But at the end of the day, that's how karma worked for you and stuff. But I say all that to say, when you know, don't let your feelings overcompass your intellect or knowing this ain't gonna work. You know, that was just like with just being a landlord. You know, people say, well, you can't put people out, you can't evict people, you can't do this kind of stuff, and it's heartbreaking. You see the videos, like I ain't got nowhere to stay, and I ain't got this, that, and that. I get it. But the other side of it is too. My mortgage still due. Whatever. Folks breaking. Let me tell you some ignorant shit. People, you see people stealing out of stores and all this other kind of stuff. I ain't never condoning you chasing nobody that's stealing out the store. But people say it ain't no big deal. They got insurance to pay for it. Let me explain to y'all something. That I know people don't have a damn business. Once you do them claims, when you start doing those claims because people stealing out your stores, that insurance will drop your ass. They'll honor that claim, but you'll have a hard time getting more insurance. Your rate's gonna go up. So at the end of the day, just saying, okay, well, they got insurance, they can replace it. You are correct, but they ain't gonna have it too much longer because again, them claims will start getting put in. Right. You know, that's what happens. So a person that somebody broke into their restaurant or broke into their store, yeah, they got, you know, can cover that, but they can't even put them claims in the morning. Let me go pay for this out of pocket because why? Man, if I put another claim in, the insurance gonna drop me or my rate gonna almost triple. You see what I'm saying? That's the reality of being a business owner. You know, you get what I'm saying? A lot of times people don't look at that kind of stuff, man. And so you want to make sure again that we have the right things in place and the right mindset, right? And that goes to the next part we'll talk about. You got to have like a personal growth mindset when you have, you know, you're dealing with setbacks and failures and things like that, right? And, you know, a person can go into a thing where they say, I'm not good at sales, right? And the growth mindset is going to be, I just haven't mastered sales yet. You know, well, I'm sitting there saying, I ain't good at it. Instead of saying I ain't good at it, because that stops me. but now I gotta work. I haven't mastered sales yet.
Right.
You just do some 15-minute role play exercise, record yourself, critique, have some friends talk to you and everything. Then you're working at. Again, we're talking about you got to have some kind of growth mindset to be able to learn and move past failures, right? A lot of young people I talk to, even some people that are close to me. I'm not good at networking. I don't like talking to people, right? No, I'm working on my networking. I just don't know a lot of people yet. My networking is not where I want to be.
Right.
Again, we do know you want to have these kind of expectations, but you don't want to talk to nobody.
Right.
How many people out here say they, especially in this city, I'm a celebrity this, I'm a platinum this, I'm
a model.
But, because you done did one rapper's baby shower, right? You done did a cake at that.
Celebrity
yeah, exactly. We do know this lab. Their celebrities probably 0.5% of the population in the city of Atlanta.
Right.
Out there, you're gonna stay busy. Most people just working folks.
Right.
You know what? I did this and that party. You did it, but your ass ain't busy.
Right.
See, that's the thing about it, man. I had a good conversation with one of my clients the other day. What's Tay? I forgot Tay's Instagram, man, but he's a detailer. But me and Tay was talking the other day, man. We were just sharing, like, you know, some people can, you know, as an auto detailer, some folks can have crazy prices, but they don't stay busy because every time they get an opportunity, they're so high. Yeah. People really call one age, you know, it's extreme.
Right, right.
But if you actually, I ain't saying being cheap.
Right.
I ain't saying you gotta be affordable.
Moderate.
But, yeah, you know, whatever, but you want to stay busy.
Right.
And a lot of times people don't want to do that. So you got to be able to sit here and say to yourself, like, look, I got to put myself in a position where I want certain stuff. And you saying I don't like talking to strangers, I don't like networking, I don't like marketing. Well, you just don't like, thanks. Bust down detailing. Yeah, shout out to Tay, man. But we had a good conversation. You may not like talking. You may not necessarily like networking, but you definitely like money.
Right.
And if that's the way you got to do it, you got to be able to sit here and just move forward with it. You know what I'm saying? And what you don't do can't be the hindrance of you getting where you want to be, right?
Thelma Park says, "Hey, Pooch,
what's up, T? What's going on, cuz? Appreciate you tuning in." A lot of times we spend so much time focusing again, like I said again, and let me just share the story, and then we're gonna wrap up. I had a person call me on Saturday, and they asked me the question. I hope you tuned it in. Said, "Do you do accrual taxes?" Okay. I said, "Well, accrual is more of a accounting term,
right?" And
you know, I'm just like, you know, this Saturday, man, I'm already tired. Well, I just want to know, do you do accrual taxes? And on your show, are those real grants and everything? So I know what it is. When it happened before, people call, look at it, and they poking, trying to find certain stuff. Ma'am, I vet all the grants to make sure they're legitimate. I have no personal kickback with it. But, you know, I know what's happening. You're just trying to vet me. We're doing stuff. And I just want to know what you're doing. I said, ma'am, I've been in business 24 years. Everything's there.
Right.
We're credible, verifiable. The LinkedIn there. You can look at the Google reviews and everything. And the question is like, well, you know, so I don't know what you want me to do.
Right.
You asked me these questions, but, you know, we need to get out the phone if you ain't ready doing the business, right? And I was like, we've been in business 24 years. You know, I kind of
pride myself on that.
You know, we're doing it. There's a lot of folks been in business 24 years. They did. Like who?
Right.
Like who? And I go back, and that can't be answered. Ain't nobody been in business that long with doing it. But let me go back to the point where what I brought up earlier. Guys, you're going to have things that didn't work out, don't work out, or didn't work out the way you wanted to do it. The time you spend focusing on somebody else, why they doing this, why they doing that, and they lying. Because what I already know what it is, probably somebody want to get into they tax season, probably at work.
Right.
They try to figure out this, can't figure out that. And I'll go back and say again, the reason why I am at right now is because I seen the people that were in the spots where I wanted to be, and I want to holler at them. Man, what you doing?
Right.
Most of them talked to me, some didn't, and I ain't tripping.
Right.
But I got that intel from them. I didn't mind going to my OGs.
Right.
If a man been in business 24 years, you don't have to do everything I say do, but there's a lot of information, experience to get from me.
Right.
And I looked at it the same way. And I say again, the time you spend worrying about what they did and what they got or whatever is taken away from the time you need to be doing shit for you. You need to be doing this for you.
Right.
You worried about what they got, what they didn't do,
how they do
and
it.
I can do it better and all this other kind of stuff. Well, they selling for $10. I'm gonna sell it for $8 because that's how I'm gonna get some of their customers. They might be selling it for $10 because they don't have the overhead and costs.
Right.
Right. And then you want to sit here and do it, but you got the same cost and stuff in doing it, but it's costing them $5 and they're selling at 10. They got a $5 margin. You're selling it for $8, but you got a $7 overhead. You making $1.
Right.
Now you're busy, but you ain't making no money.
Right.
Focus on you. Focus on you.
Right.
When you spend that time just thinking about what other people got or how they got and all that kind of stuff like that, but you don't want to spend no time. Let me holler at
Bringing up what you can do.
You know what I'm
saying? You
saying?
can do it.
You know, because I've said this before. Every time I talk to my OGs, I didn't necessarily get the response I wanted to get. I didn't necessarily get greeted with warm response. That doesn't mean everything that I was told was probably the right thing for my situation. Does that make sense? But I actually wanted people to talk to them because I see that's where I want to be one day, right? You know, from that perception. But you got to get out of this didn't work because other people didn't do this or whatever like that. Man, you got to own yourself. Yeah, you got to own what you do because again, man, I'm just telling you, man, there are too many people out here today that toss the stuff on other people. And they never get better. They never improve. They never sell a damn thing because it's always got something to do with other folks and not them. And most of the time, if you sit down and be honest with yourself, it's really that person in the mirror. Not that you did anything wrong, but you might need to do something different. You might need to pivot and change. But sometimes we be so stuck in our ways, we don't want to get advice. We don't want to get intel. We don't want to associate with people that can do it because it may require more time, more money, more experience. It may move slower, right? But you got to make sure that, again, when you have failures and setbacks, you ready to sit there and put yourself in a situation where, look, how can I fix this?
I say that all the time with this podcasting. What am I not doing? What I need to be doing different? I don't ever put it on anybody else. I just say, what am I doing? What I need to do different? Maybe I need to do this. And I try stuff all the time, but it's just a matter of trial and error, really.
Well, failure hurts.
Right.
So I'm not gonna sit here and act like, okay, you ain't gonna get bothered when shit don't go your way or whatever.
Right.
Failure hurts. Right. When you go ask for a raise, when you try to go, go to a dealership and you kind of hoping you credit right and money right, and you get disappointed.
Good sales, man.
Listen, all of us have had setbacks and things didn't work in life, right?
Right.
And when it don't go, hey man, I can't do. Hey, listen. Go back to the lab, feel bad. How long? 48 hours. You know what I'm saying? You enjoy your success and you just deal with your failures and setbacks and you get your ass back onto it. So what? It's going to take you another month. So what? It's going to take you another year. So what? You got to get some more certifications and all that kind of stuff, but you need to get it. If you're going to be doing the same thing 6 months from now, why wouldn't you just go get a certification for a month or two to put you in a different situation? You still want to get changed. Well, man, they say I got to do this and I got to come back. Go back.
Right.
You ain't gonna be doing shit anyway.
Automatic.
Come on now.
Right.
Your mind is so powerful in regards to the direction that you're gonna make for yourself. And if you sit there and be so stuck on like, man, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. I get it. If you're tired or whatever, like, I can sit here and say, one part 24 years in business has been good, but like I'm getting tired of this shit. I really am.
Right.
You're like, okay, cool, this, that, and that. But that's me, not because nothing happened.
Right.
But on the flip side of it is, if I go put things in place, man, that didn't work. But I still kind of want to do it, but they want me. I gotta go back and do this, that. Do it. Get it done. Why keep doing some stuff you don't want to do, and as opposed to like doing some uncomfortable stuff to get where you need to be? Right. I keep telling everybody. I keep too many times people say, well, they don't want to do this. They don't want to do this. You got to do what you don't want to do so you can do what you want to do. That's all it is.
What's that?
Huh?
What you say? 20 hours a day?
20 hours a day. Someone to work 40 hours a week. Shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I mean, and that's real.
Right.
That's real, man. And I love moving how I move. And I never sit here and tell somebody else they need to do it that way or whatever. But people get caught into, I want to smoke a cigar. I want to do this. I want to do that.
With a cigar, but they don't see you up at 2 o'clock in the morning doing taxes.
I do that stuff so I can do that, right?
Right.
So, and I'm cool with it. But if you're not willing to make that kind of sacrifice, do that kind of stuff, You can't have them kind of aspirations because it ain't gonna happen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just real talk. But guys, I hope you enjoyed the conversation. It's been a real great conversation. I appreciate everybody that left the comments and the chats and everything. Appreciate the young lady. What is it, Mae West?
Yeah, Tammy West. Yeah. Mae West.
Appreciate Tammy Mae West. Appreciate you calling in. But thanks so much for everybody that gave feedback. Remember, guys, if you want to check out this show in its full entirety, where we talked about how to handle failure and learn from it, go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. Again, that's Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. Check out the video in its full entirety. Also, the other 1,200 videos on the YouTube channel. We talk about entrepreneurship, personal finance, investing, and real estate. We also have that active grant playlist with over 150 different grant opportunities at any given time. So again, that's Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. Go there, subscribe, check out the video in its full entirety. Also want to tell everybody again, thanks so much for a successful 2025 tax season, man. Man, it was rough. This shit, I ain't gonna lie to you, it was rough. Good rough. And I say that to say, I know there are a lot of people that want to be where I am because, again, I know where I wanted to be 24 years ago, and I worked a whole lot harder then, and I wasn't making nowhere near as much traction as I'm making now. You see what I'm saying? Right. And let's just go back. Well, I'm being honest with you. I worked harder and got less. And I work hard now and do pretty well. But you're gonna have to pay some dues. You're gonna have to get some scars. You're gonna have to get some rejections. You're gonna have to go out and do some stuff you don't want to do. I'm talking about, I ain't talking about immoral or illegal. I'm just saying, like, put in more hours and pay for this and pay for that, and that didn't work, and then do this kind of stuff. You're just gonna have to do that. If you want to sit here and just go down that road of entrepreneurship, just basic success and progression for your life, right? Because again, if everybody was able to do what they want to do, everybody have what they want to have. I'm just saying, like, that just kills me when I hear people say that. Right. Well, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. Right. We know most people are not doing what they want to do. They doing what they have to do. That's right. They got a job and they working it because I see my son Chris came in. What's going on? What's up, Chris? Chris tuned into the show. That's my third son. Chris just came in, but I say that to say, man, when I hear people say that, I don't want to do this. What do people that want? Who the hell do what they want to do? Most folks get up in the morning and go. That's saying you hate your job. I'm not saying people hate their job, but at the end of the day, if they could be doing something different, they probably would. And for you to be able to sit there and put those things in motion, do that, you gotta do some uncomfortable stuff. Straight up. You're not gonna do it forever. You might do it for a while, but you have to do that, right? And if you're not willing to pay them dues today, it's probably not gonna work, right? But again, I hope y'all enjoyed the conversation. I definitely did. Now, again, I want to tell you guys again, thanks so much for supporting the show. Thanks for supporting my family at Misfits Radio, Misfits TV, and everything. So make sure you go subscribe to them on all their social media platforms as well. That's Misfits Radio, Misfits TV. That Misfits Westside Misfits. I ain't saying it wrong.
Westside Misfits is one too, but Misfits Radio on TV, Misfits Radio on TV, Westside Misfits. We all the same people.
Okay. Google it. And they'll pop up.
That's right. Google it. Most definitely. Ask Siri. There you go. I can't say that. Ask Alexa.
Thank y'all. I love y'all. Y'all take care of yourself. Be safe, and I'll talk with you soon.